I would like you to give your biggest round of applause for our host tonight, Tiffani Michelle.
This is my first time hosting a show, so I'm very excited. Thank you, Randy, for the opportunity. If you don't know me, I am famous for not winning Lehigh Valley's Funniest competition at the Funniest Theater. I got 4th place. But I'm super excited to be hosting here. It's my first time, so I did some research to try to prepare how to be a good host, and I learned that to be a good host, you need to know how to pronounce people's names. So before the show, I asked all the comedians how to pronounce their name, and I think I'm ready. I also thought maybe I should try to dress cute, just in case my jokes aren't funny, so you have something to look at. I thought this dress, I could kind of look like I could be in that movie Clueless. If it wasn't about rich teenagers in Beverly Hills, and instead it was about struggling 40-year-olds in southeastern Pennsylvania, I think I would be really good for that. The only thing I have in common with them is I don't have a clue. If you ask me a question, 9 out of 10 times my answer, no clue. I actually had to look at a map to write that joke about what part of Pennsylvania I live in. And I'm still not 100% sure that we qualify as South. But I used to be smart, literally, I have proof. They gave me a test in 4th grade. They were like, this one's smart. I was like, thank God. But then they didn't do any follow-up testing. So I think that was kind of my peak. And I've just been getting dumber ever since, which is unfortunate. I tried to start reading books to get more smarter. But it was so hard to pay attention, to follow, so my friend recommended audiobooks. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea, listen to an audiobook. But then I tried that and I was like, oh, now I can't really understand the characters' names, and I'm having trouble with the pronunciations. And I had a thought. I thought, I wish there was a way I could turn on captions for this audiobook so that I could see the words. And for a minute I thought, that's a really good idea. Until I realized that I had just invented a book. Again, I was right back to a book, so that's tough. I'm also not smart. I don't know how to dress for the weather. Obviously, I'm wearing a mini dress. It's freezing outside. If you guys haven't noticed, I'll probably freeze to death tonight. This is the first and last time I'll be hosting a comedy show, so congratulations on witnessing it. I do kind of like when it's this cold though, because it gives me and my coworkers something to talk about. Did you guys talk to your coworkers today about how cold it was? I bet you did. It's like, how are you? I'm trying to stay warm. And we have something in common for the first time, so that's really special. But I appreciate you guys coming out, so many people coming out when it is so cold. It's dangerous. You could have died on the way here. You could have slipped on the ice or something. You could have died. I'm so glad that you didn't. We really cannot afford to lose audience members like that. I'm so glad you all made it safely. I actually slipped this morning. I was in the car. I was going to drive my 4-year-old daughter to school. I forgot something, so I hopped out of the car, kind of ran to the building, slipped, fell. It was terrifying. But because I'm such a selfless person, I was like, oh my God, let me go check on my daughter and let her know that I'm okay, because she probably saw that. So I opened the door and she said, oh my God, Mom, could you hear me laughing when you fell? I said, no, I couldn't. She thought it was really funny. She said, your arms flew out so fast. She's a sweetheart, that one. But yeah, it's dangerous, it's slippery. It's also kind of stressful to come to a comedy show these days, I feel, with this current climate, weather and political, there's just a lot going on. And I know we live in a really divided area, so sometimes people feel tense because you don't know what the comedians are gonna say. But I just wanna let you know that I like to use my comedy to try to bring people together. And that's why I think we should all go around the room and say who we voted for president. I think that will bring us closer. Some people are shaking their head no. All right, we won't do it. I can't see you anyways. But I know that it is rude to ask people who they voted for, because that's what people tell me when I ask them. So I started to just assume sometimes it's very easy. Like I was out the other night and I saw this girl in a camo t-shirt that said, "Make conservative cool again." It's like, all right, but I was like, are you talking to me? Like, what am I supposed to do? You make conservative cool again, you know, just be cool. And I don't know about the again, like maybe for the first time, I feel like right now they're just channeling a lot of energy into xenophobia, and I feel like if we could redirect some of that to the arts, then they might get really cool. I think people make assumptions about me. They assume that I like hate Trump, which is so true. But I promise you, I do not hate Trump supporters, and I like to say that on stage because it's true. Trump supporters are my neighbors. They're my white uncles. They're my friends with boats. So I could never hate them. You know. I don't know about you, but I always just find it a little bit easier to tolerate some racism when I'm on a boat. Stop it, Chad, you're crazy. Yeah, I do think things are getting kind of bad politically, I'm noticing. And I know I used to wonder like what I would do if I was living in a time where like things were getting bad, fascism was kind of on the rise, and I guess what I would be doing would have been stand-up comedy. I always thought that maybe I'd be helping people. I don't actually think that Trump is a dictator, though. I think that he thinks he is. I think he's a dictator in the way that like guys on Tinder are entrepreneurs. But I'm not surprised that as a country we're kind of falling for this like aspiring dictator. I'm just surprised that he's ugly. I feel like if John Hamm had started to like rise to power and like try to get us to do crazy stuff, I would have been like, oh, let's hear him out, you know? But ours is ugly, and that embarrasses me as an American. I'm sorry for talking about politics so much, you guys. Like, I do think that we should talk about it more and have open conversations with each other, but there are some times when I don't think it's appropriate to talk about politics, and that is when I'm out line dancing. I love line dancing, and I am woke 6 nights a week. I take Wednesdays off. And when I walk through those saloon doors, the wokeness leaves my body like an evil spirit. And I'm just there to have a good time. I become very like, can't we all just get along? I don't want any wokeness there because ultimately I am there to culturally appropriate. I'm basically in whiteface and I'm having the time of my life doing the boot scootin' boogie with the Proud Boys. It is so fun. I will never give it up. And there's a lot of guys out line dancing, like macho guys, seemingly straight, like hot guys. That's not the only reason I go. But it did get my attention because you don't see a lot of straight guys. Like they're really good, and you don't really see them in other types of dance. So I thought about it, and I think it's because in line dancing, you really just dance with your feet, okay? It's like this. And I think it's only like if you use your arms that it's gay. I think it says that in the Bible. Thou shalt not dance with thine arms because it is gay. So it's nice. It's nice to be out line dancing. You can probably tell, like I am pretty woke, but I do have some conservative opinions. I think that we all have opinions that, you know, cross the sides. And one of mine is I understand when conservatives are really worried about men getting into women's bathrooms, like straight men. And I do not think that we should let men into women's bathrooms. And I'll take it one step further and say I don't think we should let straight men in anywhere. I think it's a safety issue, and vote for me. Mayor of Bethlehem. It's a red light. So my daughter, who laughed at me this morning, she is quite conservative, that one, let me tell you. And I tried to indoctrinate her with the woke agenda. I really did. I took her to the New York City Pride Parade when she was 2 years old. She was in the parade with me and my friends. Slept through the whole thing. Very homophobic. But I love her, you know, I try to treat her like I would a normal child. even though she has recently come out as conservative. I like to take her to the Science Center. Do you guys know the Science Center in Allentown? She loves it. They have like 5 otters imprisoned there. I don't know what they did, but they are paying for it. And my daughter loves to watch. But it's fun, and I want to leave you with a positive story. You know, so when we were there last time, she made a friend. They were, bonding over watching the otters try to drown themselves or whatever it is they do in there. And she came up to me, she said, "This girl is my best friend, like I love her so much, can she please come over to our house?" And I said, "You know what, that is okay with me, but you need to go and ask her parents who they voted for. And if they have a vote." Thank you so much. I'm Tiffani Michelle.